All right, friends, this is my last video for the day, and then I'm all caught up. I've got some jiu-jitsu training tonight, and getting ready to get out of here and do that. Um, if you ever see on my face, I had one there the other day, some gi burn. If you ever see on my face like maybe a little bit of bruising sometimes or red marks, it's from practicing jiu-jitsu. Both of my kids practice jiu-jitsu. They started when they were 4 and 5. They're now 8 and 9. And they both practice. I help coach them, and then I train myself. So it's probably my number one hobby, up and above running even. And I've been my son's actually been running with me since he was 4 years old. He's now 9, and he runs his cross country time. He did a 6:35 mile, and he runs like a mid 20s, like a 21. I'm sorry, mid 21s, like a 21:35K time. Impressive. I tell him, I'm not going to be able to run these races with you that much longer, son. So I wanted to make this video about reading scripts and versus internalizing things. So you'll notice I always have notes. I always have little quick references just to jog my memory or anything like that. But I wanted to talk to you about reading from a script and internalizing your dialogue. When people start out in this business, everyone wants to throw scripts at you and tell you to use scripts. And I wanted to be a salesperson and I wanted to be really good at it, but I didn't want to sound like these robots. Because trust me, when you are reading a script, I don't care how fluid you are with the script, you sound like a robot. What you need to do is learn what that script is supposed to say. What idea is it conveying? And then just use your natural dialogue to accomplish the goal. And the way that you can do that is to rehearse back and forth with a friend. Here's the truth, and I know this. Most people that I tell this to are never going to rehearse. I swear for all the coaches out there who have told people, you need to get a partner and rehearse with this, for the 100 hours they would like to envision or being rehearsed, there's probably like 1 or 2 hours that actually do get rehearsed for the amount of times that they talk about it. It's a great tool, but most people aren't going to do it. I train in jiu-jitsu. I actually have a jiu-jitsu training dummy at home, and I'll watch a video on YouTube and I'll go through the sequence and try and learn what I'm supposed to do so then I can go on the mats and do it. I practice that because I really, really like it and I have a lot of passion for it. But I can tell you that most people who buy a dummy are probably going to let that dummy just sit on the floor. I would say, use it as a coat rack, but that's like a Bowflex or a gym. A dummy just lays on the floor and collects dust. Maybe it's kind of like replace the beanbag chair. I don't know. But look, internalize your scripts. Read them. Read through them like a book. Involve yourself in real estate forums. There was actually a forum. It was by the name of agentsonline.net, and I posted on there literally like thousands of times. I posted on there from when I was a new agent up until the site went down right around during COVID. I was probably posting on that website for 15 years, and I got out of it as much as I put into it. And the reason why I wanted to go online and have these conversations, or whatever you wanted to call them, conversations, debates, sometimes I play devil's advocate for the sake of having a little bit of a back and forth dialogue, just so I could see someone make their point and I could play the opposite point, just for the sake of the argument, when in reality, if I was playing the game in real life, I would be making the point that they're making. But my point is, I was able to have the dialogue, to really think it out and get deep into thought. When you're typing on a screen, before you hit the submit button, I would get deep into thought, had the information typed out and thought out, and I'd go ahead and send it. And just engaging with it. Watch a lot of videos. You get so much more from just watching the video and listening to the dialogue play in your own head. The same video over and over. If there's something you want to memorize, I do that on the mats with jiu-jitsu. I'll watch something 10 or 15, short, it's 20 seconds. I'll watch it 10 or 15 times in a row, and I'll work that same move on the mat that night. Because I'll start out really slow, so I'm safe about it. But you can learn a heck of a lot from just watching and mimicking. That's how kids learn. If you think about it, everything they see you do, they try and mimic, and that's how they grow up. So really work on internalizing your scripts. These things that I gave you before about the spaghetti recipe and the tow truck driver, those are things that I used to talk to my team about during our team meetings. And I would tell the same stories over and over. Why? Because you end up having the same conversations over and over and over. And the more you do it, the less surprises you run into. And the less surprises you run into, the more confident and competent you come across. And the easier it makes it for you to get picked in the multiple agent interview, which they all are, by the way, makes it easier for you to get picked in the multiple agent interview than your competition. And these little things, it's not, what makes a good person or a bad person. Does a good person ever do anything bad? Yeah. And does a bad person ever do anything good? Yes. So it's not about, you know, always being perfect. It's about adding up all the little things, all the little good things. And if you add enough of those up and just keep going with those, and a bad thing will come in every once in a while, but add up enough of those little good things, and what do you have? You have a good person. The same thing applies to your sales business. When you add up enough of the right things that you're doing, they start building up into a real business plan that you can then grow and grow and grow. And before you know it, it has wings. And that's real growth. And that's what you're here for. Thanks so much. If you got anything out of the video, if you liked it, subscribe. Thanks so much. Have a great day.